200 million people every year that could need humanitarian assistance as a result of the consequences of climate change. And that we cannot maybe prevent the events that will happen, but we can mitigate them. And mitigating them is acting. Each and every one of us can do this. And we want to, at IFRC and at Red Cross Red Crescent, within the movement, one of our main added value is the link between the global and the local level. And we want to tell people, you can act at local level yourself on what will happen. And there is this pledge coming from the last year event. There was this conference on health and climate change happening in France, actually for the anniversary of the IFRC, 100-year anniversary. And in the pledge, which is currently open, I think still, IFRC wishes to encourage people, individual and communities' commitment. And there is this wish to strengthen the proximity response to the consequences of climate change. And this is what we can do with first aid. We can move to the next slide. This is really what we want to address by sensitizing people with this game, making the direct link between consequences of climate change, what can happen to them and their family, and what they can do. And telling them that first aid is an inclusive and empowerment tool to address the consequences of climate change at local level. All those, you see on this spectrum, all these techniques and first aid methodologies, first aid techniques can help us, each one and every one of us, face consequences of disasters, which most of them are the result of climate change. And we see this, we can see this in events happening, which happened very recently, like the pandemic, or if we addressed industrial accidents or like Beirut explosions. It may not be directly linked to the climate change, but it's also a way to tell people, okay, there are dangers and hazards in your environment. Most of them, some of them, majority of them caused by climate change, and you can do something. And yes, inclusive empowerment tool. Salomé just mentioned the World First Aid Day, which will be this weekend. And last year, the thematic was on inclusion through first aid. And this year, like telling each and every one of us, you can do something, even if you have an impairment, even if you have a disability, you can act, you have your role to play. And also this year, the thematic will be on the pandemic and how to, use first aid, how to be empowered through first aid to also respond to the pandemic. So yes, this may be interesting to have this link made by you while you're presenting the game or just before presenting the rules of the game, which will be done by Salomé just right now. I'm cutting also my sound, so we do this transition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maud. Thank you for your patience. It's not easy to be coordinated in this COVID time. But anyway, so next slide will be the objective of the game. So the objective of the game, Maud mentioned a lot the link, and what we wanted to do with that was for the general public. The first audience is general public, and we know that most of you are pretty aware of first aid, or even trainers, or part of the Red Cross has a first aider, etc. So the idea today will be to test the game, but basic audience is general public, first of all. We developed the game to be played on the street or on events or at schools at the beginning, and it worked pretty well last year for World First Aid Day. We had some pictograms, we had some images and picture, and people had to make some links with the hazard and know how to react, which first aid they have to provide in such a situation. So we thought, like with the COVID, etc., what about having this online, and what about trying this at the Climate Red Summits? So the objectives are the same, it's just the software we use which won't be the same. And the objective will be to know the hazards. So we mentioned natural disaster, technological, everyday life, etc. Be aware of the dangers, so be prepared to act, and also be aware about the context where we live. So it's not the same in a mountain area, for example, than in a desert. And of course, our core of our main field where we work mostly here as the GFARC, how to react, what are the first aids, and knowing the tools and training that we can use. So most of you must have, I hope, a good score to the game, because most of you know first aid. But the objective, as I mentioned, is to have you engaged, is to be inspired, to eventually duplicate the game. We will send you, if you send a request, the scenario and the pedagogical scenario, and also for you at the end to provide some feedback, because it is the first time that we test this. So again, thank you very much for being here, because it will give you some useful comments. I'm sure of this. How to play. So it's always the tricky question, I would say. We choose the software Klaxoon. Many software exists now. Generally, the paid version is much better than the free version, but you can have some at a very good cost. If you look a little bit, you have, for example, Kahoot, you have Mentimeter. A lot of software can exist for people who are doing trainings or a lot of webinars. We have chosen Klaxoon because it's the software that answered the best what we wanted to achieve. So you will see that in a minute. So the game is the objective is to take part in an adventure made of different steps during 20 minutes. So here in the picture, you have a preview of the game with the step 1, 2, 3, 4. You will take a gamified learning adventure with 4 steps using the code that we will provide in a minute. You start off by reading content or seeing a video. So please just see the video. There is 2 videos in the game. And then the steps score the points, and you have 10 points per question. And you can see your progression advanced with the rest of the group on the leaderboard. So today we are 7 people, sorry. So it's a good number to start, because we won't be too much, but we won't be, it's good to see the progression of everybody. Here you have all the steps that Maud just mentioned. So the natural hazard, technological, everyday life, first aid preparation. Just please pay attention to the video that are at the beginning of the game. And here is some tips. So there is no replay option, so you cannot replay your question. Please read carefully instruction and scroll the page, because it depends on the devices you use, but sometimes it's not on all the screen. You have 2 videos to watch. Some questions are single choice, other are multiple choice, so that be aware of that when you answer. You have some drag and drop pictures to pictures, so please click on the picture to move them. And participants, you will do this at your own pace, but you have to start step 1 and finish step 4. I hope it doesn't sound too difficult for you, but you will see it's very easy. So let's try to connect. What I propose is that we start at the same time, and we give us 20 minutes to play the game, and we see your progression, and at the end you will provide feedback, and we can also answer your questions. So please connect to the link appklaxoon.com using the code here that you see on the slide, and Maud is kindly putting the link. You can click directly on the link on the chat that Maud is kindly putting at the moment. So please just start, and meanwhile I can check the progression of everybody. So please go ahead, don't be shy. Okay, so Maud put the link. Let's see if some people have joined. Yeah, 10 participants. Good. So I won't talk too much during the next 20 minutes to let you concentrate. But if you have any issue or question, please write on the chat, and Maud, I, and Bassant will try to answer as much as possible. So here we have 16 participants now. Here, as you see, you have your leaderboard. So Maud is the first one because she has tasted the game. And then we have Rachel, Elke, Jim, Alex, Pufi, Suresh. We have some people. So I let you concentrate a little bit. So we're very glad to see that all the participants to the webinar are participating to the game. I hope it's okay for you. So I hope you're okay. I hope you enjoyed the adventure. So here we have Gian, which is the first one for the moment, followed by Pascal, PC, Bacinthe, Bouba, Rachel, Poofy. So I hope you enjoy it. Please continue. So we had now like 15 minutes. And do not hesitate to ask in the chat if you have more question. We will do some correction just after you finish the game. So for the person who cannot get back to the game, you can try to open your browser in a private mode. So generally it's here in some computers. And then you just copy and paste the link. And then you can go. I hope the other enjoyed the game and have finished soon. We have some good scores. And we will try to answer your question or doubts at the end.
So we hope you're progressing well in the game. It seems that some of you are having fun. Great to know. If you can, at the end of the game, you have to rate those who know Klaxon know this already. You have to rate the game with stars, and you can provide some comments. It would be very useful for us, and we would really appreciate if you do this. Let's say that we give you 10 more minutes, but if you're done with the game and you're very quick, and you have all the answers, just let us know in the chat so we can move on. But no pressure, 10 minutes left for everybody. Enjoy.
Okay, guys, 5 more minutes, and then I think we will start to stop the game. So please do as quick as you can, and we will try to collect your opinion just at the end. Congratulations to all of these people. There is some good scores. See you in 5 minutes then. So we finish in 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Okay, everybody. So thank you very much for joining. I hope you had time to finish the game. We will start now to review a little bit and collect your feedback. But we had pretty good score. So here you have the steps results, step by steps. So and question by question. So we see that the first one was not so easy to answer, but then next it seems better. We can see also in this step some percentage of average for each question. And then it enables evaluate after the game which question we can improve or which question we can change because it's too difficult depending of our audience. So we have also the leaderboard. So this you can see it. You can see it on live. So here is Maud, because actually Maud, my colleague here next to me, was testing the game just before you start. So that's normal that she had all that score. And then I would like to say congratulations to Jian, which is the second one, and in fact, the first one. So with 114 points, that's great. And then PC, Alex, Poofy, Bassin, congratulations. Claude, well done, that's good. Thank you also for your feedback in the chat. That's really appreciated. I know that some of you had played in teams, and that's really good. That was for me and for Maud a little bit frustrating because we cannot see your face, we cannot see you competing, and we cannot also, you know, help you and commenting while doing this game online. But yeah, we were happy to see the progression of each of you with the step results. So we also take into account the fact that the word filling the gap with words was really difficult. But as we might assume that a lot of you are already knowledgeable about first aid, we wanted to increase a little bit the difficulty, but yes, it's really hard to match the word, especially that English is not, well, for us, it's not our primary language. For many of you, it is not. So, so yeah, it's an option that is not really difficult. We have also that the comment that the average participant is not that linear, so considering different contexts, and this might not be the same everywhere. So for sure, here we didn't know where our participants will come from, so we try to do as much as possible to name every context, but it's true that you have to for sure know your audience.
Yeah, and this was also the idea of giving you a taste of the game, and so that you can figure out whether it's a good tool for you or not to have this kind of game or quiz online. And then, of course, sure, you can adapt it. I mean, at GFARC, we are very much in favor of contextualization. And so, yes, you should actually adapt it to your own context, and please do. And if there are some specific questions on which you want support from us, we are available still. And but yes, please do adapt potential games to your context.
Thank you, Maud. So here I put her email address if you have any request or support. I hope you could rate the activity at the end and make some comments. We have also the comments from the chat because it's recorded. So that we can improve the game in the future. Before making a small review of the question that I have here, so here is the first page, like the introduction. I hope you see my screen. I wanted to know if some of you would like to provide more feedback on the chat, or if you want to raise your hands and speak, it's also possible because we are 27, so there were not so many people. So is this game tied with the training? Yes, we can do this. Generally, the people that have a basic first aid training, you can use this as for teenager, or for example, children, you can use this as a refresher, or also within the first aid training. But it's not, I mean, we don't have a training made for this game. It's just the game that we have, but definitely it can be included in a training according to your the program that you have in your national society. So thank you for the question. You are do we have other question? So James, I went to validate email and it asked me to complete Klaxoon accounts. Generally, it's not. When we tested, it didn't. We were not obligated to have a Klaxoon account. So this is quite weird. So I invite you to refresh maybe the page and just not rate the game if it's too complicated to do so, and that you have to create an account and you don't want to. Just don't rate the game. That's okay. So Alex mentioned that it would be great to link with the training because there is a lot of that gets covered through that game. From a general public perspective, yes, agree also, because sometimes it's not easy to order the first aid steps or even knowing properly the hazards. So generally we could add that as activity or ice breaking to a training. Another question that we have, if we manage to get back online with Klaxoon, can we finish it or we will need another code? So no, you don't need, the code is still the same, but we have to open the game. So it means that, for example, now, if you have trouble in accessing Klaxoon from one browser or one computer, I advise you to use your smartphone or another device if you can. Because it's always the same code, but it works only when we are connecting. So that's why I recommended that at the end, please note our email address if you would like the scenario of the game, so that you can copy and paste for similar activity. Maud, shall we start some
Yes.
comments on the question? Yes. I hope you're still online. Please just write in the chat or raise your hand if you want to speak, but we will just provide some comments on the question that we have chosen. So here we start. First step. Here is the video that we use to show some types of hazards.
Videos are always good for introductions, but then as you saw, the questions are not directly linked to the video, just to give the participants a bit of background about this section. Frequency of natural disasters increasing, of all natural disasters, keyword, increasing due to climate change. Not all of them. For example, earthquakes are not, I mean, for the state of the science at the moment, earthquakes are not directly linked to climate change. Tectonic processes are not directly linked to climate change. But of course, we can say that most natural disasters are increasing the frequency and also the intensity of them due to climate change.
Thank you, Maud. So this is the one that people generally don't succeed because it's not evident. Oops, sorry, I didn't put the correct answer also. So this one is pretty easy, but the idea is really to take the image and just link it to the risk. So for example, we have dehydration here, so not a lot of comments. Sorry, I will do it quick to not lose so many time. Here regarding the trauma injuries, then not forget to put this unless there is an emergency, knowing that on a climate change or disaster, even there is emergency most of the time. So it's important to know that.
You see that we mixed questions, some of them on all disasters, some of them are on first aid. For the beverages, so everything related to, I mean, which has sugar in it is not recommended. So even natural juice, but coconut water, tea, water are recommended.
When we test it, generally people think that natural juice is recommended, but as there is sugar, we don't recommend it. Although the coconut water is recommended, so it's good to know that. This is the tricky part. I think a lot of you and our team also, when we were testing, were having really a lot of difficulties try to fill the gap. And I think it will be good, as some of you mentioned, like Melissa, for example, has the last comment, to have option for the word so that you can actually choose. We try to do it as most evident as possible, but yeah, even when we have typos or when we are from another country and it's not the same word, I mean, yeah, for example, here it's phone and we can put telephone also. It's not wrong, but it will goes wrong with the game. So we really try to put that, because at the same time we wanted to provide people some knowledge about what to do, so that they have to guess what can be the word. So yeah, this part maybe we shall rework a little bit and provided some option to people, because knowing the languages issue, it's too complicated. So yeah. So the first part we finished, then second part. So here it's a video. If you listen well the video, you have one answer to a question just after. Ta-da! Technological hazards. Maud, would you like to go on?
Yes, just give me the answers, please.
sorry.
No, I don't remember this one. Oh yeah. So basically for this one, it's, I mean, as direct consequence, it's all of them except stroke, which will not be directly linked to such hazards. But yes, you have intoxication, obviously, eye injuries because of the dust or because of the fire, or breathing difficulties, burns, but not stroke for this one. Well done, Salomé.
Yeah.
Associate each risk to the correct first aid step. So yeah, you have, this is an easy way to associate images with text. Of course, dust is the improvised moistened clothes. Everything related to intoxication, do not eat or drink. If you have a risk that the person will vomit, just only if the person is thirsty, just only give the person a small amount of water. Breathing difficulties, of course, quite usual. Sit in a comfortable position, sitting position, therefore. Yes, and again, first aid technique related to the technological hazard, which is the burn is one frequent consequence and damage, that we can have in case of technological hazard. So easy way to put some steps in chronological order. Always quite interesting to do that for burns.
Okay, then we go to the first step, everyday life hazards. So these are more linked to the long-term consequences, let's say, regarding the climate change. So I don't know if you had difficulty in this one, because when testing, it was not so easy to do the memory. I don't know for you guys, how was the experience, because I mean, it's pretty easy because it just link the picture to the icon, but it's just that people sometimes don't know that we have to actually click on this. So please let us know if this was obvious or not for you. It's interesting. But yeah, when testing, it was they had some difficulty. This one I think, like the filling gap, we will have also to had some possibilities for people to choose, because it avoids that for typos or language issue there is some mistakes unless the content is correct. And yeah, this one is a multiple choice question, so I think it's pretty obvious for all of you.
So everything except dehydration and cardiac arrest?
Yeah,
I think so.
You make me doubt.
Again, filling the gap text. I mean, those of you who are very familiar with hygiene promotion, maybe they get some advantage here. But yeah, again, not easy in terms of maybe not so funny to do because of the language issue. Maybe we should have options for the words, but also interesting to go more in depth into a subject. So yes, ensure clear water is available. Signs of dehydration. It isn't necessary to call the emergency services. And even we wanted really to highlight that even if the disorders are moderate, there is really a need for medical examination in this case.
I even myself made a typo with dehydration. It's like the word unconscious, always really tricky to write. So here you can copy and paste this small image for your social network if you like, but the idea is to make people aware that we have to be prepared. So I think someone mentioned a suggestion for this, for the first aid item, and we will take that into account.
Yes, having people listing the items of the kit. It was also important for us to have a part on prevention or preparation, just like to sensitize people on the fact that they can do, again, they can act themselves. Everybody should be involved, and everybody is concerned about preparation, getting prepared, and prevention. So, and we put this part at the end, so just to finish on a quite positive note. Yeah.
I put, yeah, sorry, media information.
Yeah.
I was doing that too fast. So you see, not easy. So really, I thank you very much to all our participants for being part of this. Just as a summary to finish the session for today, because I know that some of you have to leave us. So thanks a lot for all your feedbacks that can be taken into account, because we recorded the session and we have the chat also. So that's really helpful. We just some last little tips, but you already mentioned that in your feedback, like know your audience. We have to monitor for which audience we will do such a game, and choose the right tools, and know these tools also, like making a lot of testing and link to the context to be relevant for the gamers. And you can also link that to disaster risk reduction programs. For example, I know in some national societies, they have the first aid training linked with the disaster reduction training for both the volunteers and general public. So it's enabled to make some links with that, with the preparation, prevention, and first aid training. So please just note this address, first.egg@ie4c.org. It's us, actually. If you would like the scenario, and that you would like some tips on how to buy this in Klaxoon, for example, or other tool, please write us, as we are not authorized to collect the email today for the Climate Summit meeting. It's easier if you write us. And we have also other resources, like, for example, the video that you saw. We have a program, a complete program. We have also a YouTube channel where we have also some videos for first aid that you can use for your online activities, social media. So please do not hesitate to reach us. We will be happy to share that resources. And for the disaster reduction risk program, we have it in 8 languages. So please do not hesitate to reach. I cannot move the slides for whatever reason. Thank you, Maud. We have this Saturday the World First Aid Day. I hope like everybody is preparing some nice activities. So we provide also some toolkits. Maud, I think you provided already some links in the chat, and thank you very much for that, so that people can access right now the resources and keep it for later if you need. But yeah, Saturday is a big day for us, and the thematic will be adapting first aid practices to the pandemic. So we hope that you will have some nice campaign to share for this day. So we have quizzes, games, posters. I mean, Maud shared all the tools so that you have everything.
Great, thank you very much, Salomé. Thank you everybody for joining, for playing with us, and for providing some very useful feedback. We hope you enjoyed the session. And so yes, we recorded the session, as we said to some of you, and this video. So we are not allowed, due to the rules of the summit, to take your email addresses. So what we can do, we will do 2 things. First is that, as Salomé mentioned, you have our email address, first.ed@ifrc.org. So please write to us if you want to have the video, the recording, maybe to show it to your colleagues or anything. You're most welcome. And also we will send the video as requested to the Climate Summit organizers. So I guess they will post it online. So maybe you can also ask them. Yeah, so if you, I mean, it was quite, as Salomé said, we enjoyed very much the session, but it was a bit frustrating not to have you all around us. If you wish to have your video on and just we can all wave at each other.
We can see your face. We can see some face,
yes,
like Zelko, for example.
Patchwork
Hello.
of all of you.
Melissa.
Thanks so much, Melissa, for your kind words.
Thank you, Alice.
Oh.
Thank you, Elke. Bye-bye.
Oh, Zelko.
Gracias. Gracias.
Gracias, Melissa. Hasta pronto.
Au revoir. Merci.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Hi, bye-bye, Zelko. Great to have you.
So thank you very much. We will finish
Samir.
in some minutes. If you want to just make some greetings, putting your video on, that would be great for us. And if not, then I hope we can see you in the next session, which will be at 7:30.
Geneva
and
time.
Please do not hesitate to reach us if you need some advice and the scenario of the game. Thank you very much all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Bye-bye, Delco.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.